Hey, and welcome back to Wild Mythology. I welcome you to the channel with bread and salt, and I wish you a happy Easter. For today's video, I'm going to be talking about famous and legendary rabbits and hares from mythology and folklore. But before we get to that, don't forget to join our giveaway for the book Bullfinch's Mythology. All you have to do is subscribe and make a comment on this video. Plus, if you comment on any other video I make this April, it gives you an extra chance to win for each video you comment on. Now, on to the rabbits. Every year on Easter, legend has it that a cotton-tailed critter goes from home to home delivering colorful eggs, yummy sweets, and fun toys for children. If the critter is feeling mischievous, it'll hide the colorful eggs, making sure only the most clever of children can find them. For the first legendary rabbit on this list, we have the Easter Bunny. For its association with spring and Easter, the Easter Bunny has become a famous symbol throughout the world for the Christian holiday. But has it always been like that? Let's explore the origins of the famous bunny. It's thought that the Easter Bunny originates from Anglo-Saxon pagan traditions. Celebrations for the season of spring were extremely common all over Europe back in the day, and spring represented rebirth and growth, which meant celebrations included eggs and rabbits as symbols of the season. Some traditions had an egg laying Easter hare that would decide if a child had been well behaved before the spring season. If they were, the Easter hare would then bring the children its colored eggs in a basket. Another idea is that the rabbit was the sacred animal of the pagan goddess of spring, Estra, who is one of the possible sources that we get the namesake of Easter from. As Christianity absorbed and adapted the pagan traditions, the story of the Easter hare changed into the Osterhase and eventually made its way to Pennsylvania from German immigrants in the 1700s. Hearing from their parents about the tales of the great gifts the Osterhase brought, children would build nests for the rabbit to leave its goodies. From there, the custom exploded over the years into the cute and popular Easter Bunny. In the 19th century, the chocolate industry got involved and began to make chocolate in the shape of eggs and rabbits, resulting in the change of real eggs for chocolate eggs and even more influence for the Easter Bunny. Number 2. The Jackalope. The jackalope is a creature from North American folklore, described as a rabbit with antelope horns. The jackalope is said to get its origins from Douglas Herrick, a hunter with taxidermy skills. In the 1930s, he put antlers on a rabbit, and from there the legend grew out of proportion. Some legends claim they're herbivores with antlers that are able to pierce through flesh. Other legends say jackalopes are able to mimic voices and are fond of singing with campers. And even more legends claim you can calm an angry jackalope by giving it whiskey. While the origins of jackalopes make them sound like tall tales, the idea of a rabbit with horns isn't something new. Rabbits with horns have appeared all over European folklore, as well as in Central American mythology. A possible explanation for this is a disease specific to rabbits and hares that make them grow tumors on their heads and bodies that look like horns. Seeing a rabbit with this disease, it wouldn't be hard for people to believe that a species of rabbit exists with horns. Perhaps it was sightings and stories of these diseased creatures that influenced the legend of horned rabbits, as well as Herrick's creation of the jackalope. Number 3. The moon rabbit. Much of Western civilization is familiar with the man in the moon, but in the East, people are more familiar with the rabbit in the moon. In fact, the moon rabbit is an important figure in many Asian folktales. Usually, the rabbit is associated with a moon goddess or is in charge of pounding ingredients for the elixir of immortality. The most famous story of the moon rabbit comes from a Buddhist tale. In the story, an otter, a monkey, a jackal, and a rabbit are practicing charity on the night of a full moon. The animals find an old man who is starving and begs them for food. The monkey brings the old man some fruits, while the otter brings some fish, and the jackal brings a lizard. But the rabbit is only able to bring grass, something that the old man cannot eat. So after the old man makes a fire for the other ingredients, the rabbit offers itself to the old man and jumps into the fire. A moment later, the rabbit opens its eyes, realizing that it hadn't died. Impressed and moved by the rabbit's charity, the old man reveals himself to the animals as a deity. The deity then drew the shape of the rabbit into the moon, so all can know of the rabbit's charity. The moon rabbit also appears in Aztec legends, sharing a similar story to the Buddhist tale. In Native American legend, the Cree have their own story about a moon rabbit wishing to fly to the moon. Only the crane agrees to take the rabbit, but as they fly towards the moon, the crane's legs are stretched because the rabbit is heavy. Once they reach the moon, the rabbit touches the crane's head with a bloody paw, thus being the reason the crane has long legs and red marks on top of their heads. Number 4. The Tortoise and the Hare. As one of the most famous stories in the world, the hare from this story easily fits the bill as a legendary rabbit, even though rabbits and hares are two different animals. But I mean, hey, a hare looks like a rabbit to me, so I'm gonna count it. Anyways, the story is from Aesop's Fables and tells the tale of how a hare is making fun of a tortoise because of its slowness. The tortoise then challenges the hare to a race, making the hare laugh in glee. So the two have their race, and right before the hare is about to win, he decides that he has plenty of time to take a nap. When the hare wakes, he realizes that he has overslept and that the tortoise had won. Like most of Aesop's fables, the story of the tortoise and the hare is a lesson, teaching people not to be overconfident. Number 5. The White Hare of Inaba. The White Hare of Inaba is involved in a famous story from Japanese mythology. The story begins with the hare trying to reach the mainland from his island. He isn't able to swim the entire way, so he decides to trick some crocodiles into helping him. The hare tricks the crocodiles into lining up from head to tail, creating a bridge to the mainland. The hare then hops along the backs of the crocodiles, but right before he reaches the mainland, he insults the crocodiles for falling for his trick. This angers the final crocodile, causing it to bite off the hare's fur. Lying on the beach in agony, a group of 80 princes comes upon the hare. The princes were on a journey to a nearby kingdom to try and win the hand of that kingdom's princess. Deciding to play a cruel prank on the hare, the princes told him that if he wanted to regrow his fur, that he should bathe in salt water, then let the winds and sun dry him off. Listening to the princes, the hare did so, resulting in the hare's skin to dry out and crack, which caused the hare even more pain. Laughing at its pain, the princes walked off, leaving the hare to die. But soon after, the youngest and 81st prince came upon the hare. He was carrying all the prince's luggage and so had fallen behind. Seeing the hare in pain, he listened to the hare's story. After the hare was done, the young prince shook his head in disappointment at the hare's trickery, but decided to help him. He told the hare to bathe in a lake and then roll in some foxtail bushes. Doing so, the hare regained its fur and showed the young prince his gratitude. The hare then traveled with the young prince to the princess's castle. There, the hare told the princess of the young prince's kindness and the cruelty of his 80 older brothers. Hearing the story, the princess chose the youngest to be her husband, while banishing the 80 older brothers from her kingdom. Number 6. The Al-Miraj. The Al-Miraj are mythical one-horned rabbits from Arabic legend. They inhabit an island in the Indian Ocean called the Dragon Island and are said to give off a presence that makes all wild beasts flee. Supposedly, they're incredibly nimble and fast, as well as furious carnivores, which explains why wild creatures fear them. Also, their horns have healing properties. Legend has it that Alexander the Great one day happened upon the island during his sailings. He discovered that the people of Dragon Island were being terrorized by a dragon, so he stuffed 2 oxes with poison and sacrificed them to the beast. Overjoyed with the dragon's death, the people of Dragon Island gifted Alexander the Great an Al-Miraj. Number 7. The Skvader and Wolpertinger. Skvaders and Wolpertingers are 2 rabbit creatures with body parts from other animals, making them very similar to the American jackalope. The Skvader has the body of a hare, but the upper back, wings, and tails of a goose. It originates from Sweden, from a man claiming he hunted a flying rabbit on his recent hunting trip. The Wolpertinger is from Germany and is said to have the head of a hare, two large fangs, the antlers of a deer, the body of a squirrel, and the wings and sometimes the feet of a falcon. Supposedly, if a Wolpertinger's saliva touches human skin, a thick tuft of hair will grow where the saliva touched. They are usually shy creatures, but are able to let out a foul smell if they feel threatened. Legend has it that if you get gassed by a Wolpertinger's foul smell, it will linger on you for exactly 7 years. And there it is. I give you some legendary rabbits and hares from mythology and folklore. Hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe and comment so you can enter our giveaway. Well, until next time on Wild Mythology.